Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're having a lovely day. I want to follow up in the video that I did on Samsung's RMA policy being a joke, where I said that I would be taken to court. TLDR, that SSD right now is retailing for about $808 on Amazon.com, and they refunded me a total of $1,234.04. So I'm happy. To recap on that video, I had purchased a Samsung 4TB 990 Pro SSD in 2024. Because it is a Samsung SSD, like almost all of my Samsung SSDs over the years, besides the 850 EVO, which is one of the best SSDs of all time, like most of my Samsung SSDs, it failed in less than 2 years. So I went to do an RMA. I sent it back to them. And when I saw online that drive that I had paid about $300 for was retailing for $900 to $1,000 online, I just had a feeling that they were not going to make the warranty process easy for me. And they did not disappoint. I sent them the drive. They said that there was nothing wrong with it. I sent an email saying, like, what are you talking about? I know there was something wrong with it. And before they responded to me, I already had a UPS tracking number with them sending me back the SSD that they claimed was fine, that I sent them, that I know is dead. I received the drive back. I plug it into our normal computers as well as our data recovery equipment. And it's getting anywhere from 40 to 100 something megabytes a second, which is just not what a Samsung 990 Pro is supposed to be doing. And I tried putting it back in my server just to make sure it wasn't something to do with my data recovery equipment or my testing equipment. It was consistently falling out of a RAID 1 MDADM array in Linux when it was barely doing anything. So I just realized this is a piece of shit. This is not going to work. No. I emailed them saying I want an actual fucking replacement. I understand that because this product has over tripled in price from the point that I bought it. I understand the incentive structure. I get it. I don't care. I don't give a fuck that you want to sell more to Sam Altman than you do to me. You had an obligation, and you're going to fulfill that obligation. There was the back and forth in that video, and when they said, yeah, we can refund you what you paid for it, that is when I just started to lose my shit. You are not going to refund me $300 fucking dollars for a drive that you sold me for $300 that you are now selling for $1,200. Fuck that. That's not happening. And then I did my video saying I'm going to sue Samsung. This video got over 1 million views on a 2.6 million subscriber YouTube channel, and that resulted in this. They said that my payment was issued, and also they said that I can expect my payment of $1,234.04 to show up in my bank account, and that's pretty much that. So they refunded me $1,234.04. And the reason I'm doing this video is because I don't want this to be something that only happens to me. I actually want the exact opposite to happen. I don't give a crap if I get put on some sort of blacklist where I'm never going to get sent stuff for influencer marketing, or I'm never going to get sponsors for this channel, because for 14 years I haven't had sponsors for this fucking channel anyway. I want you to be able to have the same experience that I did. Now, I know what you're thinking, Lewis. They're doing this because you're famous. They're not going to give a fuck about me. And point taken, they may not give a fuck about you. I'm doing this video because I want you to have the same experience that I did if you choose to take them to court. If you take Samsung to small claims court or commercial claims court, and there is a visible record that Samsung treats some customers different than other customers, this is something that may help your case in court. And once that is popularized enough, it may get Samsung to just start acting right towards everybody. I don't want to just get a refund for $1,234 because they chose to jack up the price to rip off everybody by taking a $300 product and selling it for $1,234. I don't want to be the only one that gets this refund, like, got mine, fuck you. I want every single person watching this video that is bought a defective Samsung product, that when they tried to RMA it, got that bullshit that I did, to be able to get the same result I did of getting a refund of the purchase price to replace it right now, or a replacement. When Samsung tells you that they cannot give you a replacement drive for your defective drive because they don't have any in stock, and then you go to Amazon, you go to Newegg, and you go to Best Buy, and you see that they're selling the same fucking product you bought 2 years ago for $300 for $900 to $1,200, you have to understand that when this happens to Samsung, this is not because their cost internally went up. They're getting rich off of this. And to be clear, I'm a capitalist. I'm a business owner. I have no problem with people getting rich. I don't mind companies getting rich. I want everybody to get rich. What I have a problem with are you not honoring your obligations. When you sold this product, it came with a warranty, and that warranty means that you need to be willing to replace that product if there's an issue with it. And if you're not willing to replace that product, you need to compensate me so that I can purchase another one. And you don't get to do this bullshit where you're going to compensate me a different fucking amount because you decided to hike the price by 4 times because you want to sell more of them to Sam Altman than to me. Fuck that. And one thing that's really important to understand here is that I don't want people in my audience feeling bad for Samsung, like, Lewis, their costs went up. Like, no. When it comes to RAM and SSDs, Corsair's price went up. Corsair is not sitting there making their own RAM. They are getting the chips from other people. So when Corsair doubles or triples the price of the RAM, that's because their input prices went up. They're simply passing that on to you. When Samsung or Micron increases their price by 300 or 400%, that's them getting rich. Samsung makes the memory. They're making almost everything inside of that NVMe drive that they are selling you. They are completely vertically integrated. So when their price goes from $300 to $1,200, and same way with Micron, when you see Micron go from making something like $700 million a year to $8.5 billion a year, that is them getting rich. When they double and triple and quadruple the price of the product, and they are the supplier of almost every single component within that product, that's them getting rich. And again, like, there's no problem with the company getting rich. I want everybody to get rich. But I also want you to honor your commitments and your obligations to your customers. And if you don't want to have those obligations or commitments to your customers, then stop selling them shit. I have to honor those commitments to my customers as a small business that has a few employees. You have to do that as a company that makes hundreds of billions of dollars. I think that's fair. So hopefully you come away from this video with the understanding that if you have purchased a solid state drive from Samsung before they decided to quadruple or double or triple the price of their products, that when you have a problem with that product and you go to RMA it, you can ask them for a replacement or you can ask them for a refund for the full purchase price right fucking now. And if they give you anything else, tell them that you are going to take them to small claims court, you're going to sue them, and when you get to court, tell them Louis Rossmann was able to get a full refund. This company should not be allowed to apply a different standard to Louis Rossmann that they do to me, because that is discrimination. And if you want any of the documents back and forth that I have with Samsung, if you want proof of any of these things, if this goes to court, by all means email me and I'll try to help you with it as best as I can. That's it for today, and as always, I hope you learned something. Now, after winning against Samsung, Cisco and IBM in Colorado, and Bamboo Labs a few months ago, we have to go and prepare to fight the final boss, the scariest of them all. We recovered data. See you in the next video. Bye now. Last thing I want to go over before I end the video is the amount of AI-generated complete bullshit that I've seen around this particular story for my channel. It does kind of give me concern and worry. So a lot of people have been asking me, yo, Louis, what happened to your lawsuit? Why didn't you update us in your lawsuit? Didn't you sue them? And I said in my original video, and I said it very clearly, that the law in my county is such that I have to wait 60 days for them to respond before I can initiate a lawsuit. And 60 days still has not passed. So even if I wanted to sue them, I would have had to wait 60 days from the time that I did that video. And I made that video on June 9th, 2026. And so I'm still not eligible to sue them if I wanted. This was resolved because after this video came out, I got treated slightly differently, and that was the reason that I got the refund. I did not sue them. Be careful where you get your information about me from. I would rather you think I'm a complete piece of shit based on you actually watching my content than on you watching an AI-generated video or AI-generated media. At some point, my girlfriend was showing me copies of things, or like she was showing me clips from my video where like the paneling behind me had changed. You had it like AI generated shit on the desk. The fucking duck wasn't even the same. And that does worry me, because some of the people that were emailing me these questions were emailing me stuff and they were linking me to where they were hearing this stuff about this. And it were these channels that were just not just AI generated channels, but modifying the actual content of my video and then saying stuff that was like a hallucinated version of my video. And I'm realizing that this actually has the potential to make people mad, because there were a lot of people that thought that I already sued them, even though my original video said that I actually am legally required to wait 60 days before I have the ability to sue them. And I didn't understand where this is coming from until I started seeing this. If your electricity bill has gone up near you, or if you have noticed that the air quality where you live sucks, that is because they have these machines near you whose primary purpose appears to be to claim that I'm sponsored by Ground News, that my friend Stephen Ryan is the terrorist 9/11 hijacker reincarnated. If you've watched something about me from a channel that is made, even if it's by somebody who hates me, if it's made by a human, great. But if you are watching clanker-generated content about me, there's a very good chance that what you're listening to is complete and utter bullshit. And I'll just leave it at that. See you in the next video. Bye now.